Lesson 3-4. Divide decimals by 10, 100, and 1000. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to divide decimals by powers of 10 and write decimals less than 1 in scientific notation. So let's take a look at today's example. Here we have that Eddie divided 6 decimals by 10, 100, and 1000 and discovered some patterns. So if we take a look here at these numbers, he's got the same number right here, and he's divided them by 10, 100, and 1000, and then he has the answers. So if you take a look at those, take a look at some of the patterns that you notice. You can see that if there is 1 0 that you're dividing by, you move the decimal place to the left 1 place. If there's 2 zeros, you move the decimal to the left 2 places, and if there's 3 zeros, you would move the decimal to the left 3 zeros, or 3 spaces. So that's the pattern that he was noticing. You can use these patterns to help you divide by 10, 100, and 1000. Here are the rules to divide a decimal by 10, 100, or 1000. You first count the number of zeros in the divisor, then you move the decimal point to the left 1 place in the dividend for each 0 in the divisor, and you write zeros in the quotient as needed. Let's take a look at some examples. In the first one, we have 68.4 divided by 10. So we take a look here at how many zeros are in the divisor. We have 1. So now we're going to move the decimal place 1 place to the left. So our answer will now be 6.84. When we look at the next example, we have 268.7 divided by 100. We count the zeros here. We have 2, so we're going to move this decimal 2 places to the left. 1, 2. So it's going to be right after the 2. So it's written as 2.687. Here we have 32.5 divided by 1,000. We have 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3, so we need to move this decimal point 3 places. 1, 2, 3, that's going to be out here, so we need to put a 0 placeholder here. So now we can move that 1, 2, 3. So our answer is 0.032.5, and for our last one we have 1.82 divided by 1,000. Here again we have 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3, so we need to move 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. So I need to put some zeros out here. 1, 2, 3. I'll put 4 out here. Now let's try it again, moving the decimal. 1, 2, 3. That's going to go right here. So it's going to look like this. 0.00182. So remember, you count the number of zeros in the divisor, and you're going to just move that decimal that many places to the left. Go ahead and work through problems 1 through 26 and pause this video, and then once you finish number 26, turn it back on and you can watch the notes for scientific notation of decimals between 0 and 1. Okay, here is the next part of the lesson on scientific notation of decimals between 0 and 1. So the scientific notation of a number is a product of 2 factors. One factor is greater than or equal to 1, but less than 10. The other factor is a power of 10 in exponent form. It's going to look like this. 6.4 times 10 to the negative fourth. So I'll show you how to get to that. I just wanted you to see what it's going to look like. So here we have the factor being greater than or equal to 1, but it's less than 10. And this factor is a power of 10 in exponent form. Okay, so scientific notation can be used to rename decimals that are between 0 and 1. Negative exponents are used for the powers of 10. So in this example, 0.00064, that is actually, if we were to write that in fraction form, it would be 6.4 over 10,000, because we want this number being greater than 1 but less than 10. So this then equals 6.4 times, let me move that, 6.4 times 1 over 10,000. Which equals, so now we take a look here and we see there are 4 zeros. So that's our power of 10 is going to have a 4. So this then equals 6.4 times 10 to the negative fourth power. Because it's a decimal, we're going to have those be negative powers. So this is the math behind how to get from here to here. When they ask you to write a decimal in scientific notation, this is the math behind that. So now when you're looking at today's problems and they give you 0.00064 and they say put that in scientific notation, you would take the number and you see your numbers here that are not zeros, the 64, and it needs to be less than 10, greater than 1. So you would put that as being 6.4 times, and you remember scientific notation from before, it's a 10 with a power. Now we had to count all these zeros. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So it's a power of 4, but since it's a decimal, it's a negative power of 4. Also, another way, an easy way to remember, is if you go backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's negative. So you're going backwards when it's a decimal, so it's a negative number. Feel free to rewatch parts of the video and take notes as you need it, and happy math today!